domain as a career option, right? Thank you so much, Vivek sir. We would now like to proceed with our second speaker for the day, Mr. Abhishek Prasoon. Mr. Abhishek Prasoon is the project head and Scrum Master Professional at Coforge Limited. He comes with over 17 years of experience in building and grooming agile teams and leaders, and a hands-on on high-quality software products and solutions. He is going to talk about the emerging trends in managing software quality. And over to you, sir. I think so. Quality is also one of the subjects that I am teaching currently to my students. So I'm sure they are going to find it very relevant. Over to you, Abhishek, sir.
Yeah, so thank you, Pragya ma'am, and thank you everyone for giving me opportunity to present in this forum. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me know once you are able to see my PPT. Okay, so our topic is emerging trend in software quality management. So a little bit about myself. I have around 17 years of experience in IT industry, and I'm author of 2 books, Forefront Manager and Infallible Weapons. And I have published multiple articles on related to technology and management on LinkedIn. So here is my social media credential, and any students who want to connect and further discuss related to today's topic can email me, and whenever I get time, I will respond. Okay, so let's start. I'm not taking much time. So one disclaimer, whatever I'm going to share in this presentation, that is my own view, and it is nowhere associated with my present and past employer. One ground rule which you need to take care, keep yourself on mute and please ask question at the end of session. We have dedicated Q&A session for this presentation. I have a slide number on every slide. So if you have question related to any particular slide, just you can refer a slide number. I will go back and discuss that. Okay. So agenda of presentation is today's presentation is like I have divided the entire session into 3 parts. One is fundamental aspect of software testing, because I know many of the students may not be aware with the fundamentals of software testing. So that knowledge is little bit required. And what are the emerging trends are going on in the software industry? We will discuss those trends. Then career opportunity. I can understand you guys are MBA students, and after completion of your study, you may be need some career prospect related to software technology. So I think these topics will help you to understand that need. So let's start with some interesting fact. So why software testing, software quality is very important. We can see some of the example. So in 1994, China Airlines got crashed and around 264 people lost their life due to software bug in the application. Second example, Nissan car recalls around 1 million cars and from market due to software failure in airbag sensor detector. So a lot of financial loss to Nissan car due to that software bug. Third example, you can see 3 people dead and critical injured in one accident related to radiation. Reason behind it, software bug in the application. So you can see internet. There are so many examples you will find flooded with such accidents, such a loss of life, financial crisis, financial problem, just because of software malfunction, because software is not producing its result according to the requirement. And here software quality assurance actually plays a bigger role. And here we understand the importance of software quality, why software quality is very much important. So we can start with one quotation from John Ruskin. Quality is never an accident, and it is always the result of intelligent effort. So here you can see intelligent effort is required to maintain the quality. That's why companies like big companies pushing a lot of money just to maintain software quality. We have dedicated manpower, we have dedicated department of quality testing just to inculcate quality in the software. So let's start with the fundamentals of software testing. So first, we need to understand why, what is software testing and why it is required. So just a basic definition of software testing is find the error in the application and verify the application so that it's fit for the use, and it should be according to the requirement. So this is the basic principle of software testing. Software testing actually a process to discover a defect and bug in the application, in the software. And when we deliver this application in front of customer, that cater the requirement of the customer, and it should be fit for the use. So every company, as I mentioned earlier, save millions of like rupees as a development effort. They save millions of rupees if software is according to the quality requirement. Software is more reliable if it is tested properly, and it will be easier to use. There are many other aspects of software testing and software requirement, like security of testing, performance of testing. If your software is not secure, then there is no point of using this. Or maybe if it is not according to the performance requirement, then it is very difficult to use. So software testing take care of all these aspects of software development and implement those requirements. Okay. So next slide is related to importance of testing in modern software development. So modern software development is entirely different. Today industry is entirely changed, even software industry also. Earlier we used to develop a desktop application, web application and mobile application only. But now due to emerging trend and introduction of new technology, there are so many new technologies available in the market. For example, big data, Internet of the Things application, cyber security, cloud related applications, AI, ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning related applications. So these are the many new trends, new software development approach which need to take care. The same way, software quality also need to change according to the market trend. So if you are developing such complex application, your testing also inculcate those changes, those emerging trend, and should be according to the market requirement. So there are a lot of changes in software testing also due to this changing market trend. So let's just start. Let's see what is software development life cycle. So we can divide entire software development life cycle into 6 phases. So requirement analysis is the starting phase. Here we software testing team actually understand the requirement of the application. What are the different functional requirement, non-functional requirement is there. What are the acceptance criteria is there, and what we are going to deliver at the end of the development. So entire requirement analysis with respect to testing we understand in this phase. Second step is test planning. So test planning is again a lot of things in the part of test planning, like how you develop, how you schedule your entire plan, what are the manpower you required, what are the testing tools you required, what are the acceptance criteria. So we do entire planning in this phase. Third phase is test case development. So here we again develop test cases basis on our functional requirement and basis on our non-functional requirements. After development of test case, we do environment setup. So in environment setup, we required environment, various different kind of testing requirement according to application need. Maybe you need to set up some security related environment for security testing, or maybe you need to set up some performance related environment for performance testing. So environment setup is the one of the step of STLC. Second last stage is test execution. So actual execution of test cases take place at this phase. And whenever any bug, test engineer found any bug, they note it down and they share it with developer. Developer again test it one more time and share it back to testing team. And this is ongoing process, and this run till the closure of all the bugs. And at the end, we close test cycle after successful receiving of sign off from customer. So this is STLC. 7 principles of software testing we need to understand, just because entire testing is aligned, entire testing
Vinod,
should be aligned with
Namaskar
7
bhai,
principles of software testing. Okay, so one first principle of software testing is testing shows the presence of defect. When you do testing, it's produce defect, but many a time when you do regressive testing, defects is not coming after a certain time of period. But this doesn't mean there is no any defect in the application. Maybe we are not able to find those defects. These are the reasons. So this is first principle. Second principle is exhaustive testing is not possible. It's impossible. So no matter how experienced you are, how much regressive testing you have done, but there are chances we are not able to find each and every bug from the application. It is not possible to test every aspect. Maybe some aspect you will miss. So there are many other things we need to take care to manage this situation. One example is risk analysis. If some bug appear at production environment, what are the different risk analysis, risk mitigation strategies there? Third principle is early testing. So software testing and development should be go hand to hand. It's not like when you finish your development, then you start testing. In modern testing environment, software development and software testing go together. Fourth principle is defect clustering. So similar bugs we keep in a similar like same basket. So when developer resolve these problems, and when they have when tester again test all these defects, similar bugs they can test in one go. Fifth principle is a pesticide paradox. It means if you test enough, then maybe you will not find new bugs. But this is not the reason like there is no bug available in the application. Maybe one of the reason is you need to inculcate new test cases, so you will find more bugs. Sixth principle is testing is context dependent. So maybe whatever testing you do, that is good, is appropriate in one context, but then might be not appropriate for some other context. Seventh principle is absence of error fallacy. Absence of error fallacy means maybe your application is bug free and you don't have any bug, but if it is not according to users requirement, users need, then there is no point of bug free application. So your application should be aligned with the user's requirement. Okay. Now there are few artifacts. Every stage have some artifacts which we need to understand. So for example, requirement analysis is the first phase, and here we develop requirement traceability matrix and feasibility analysis as a output of requirement analysis phase. In planning phase, we have test strategy, test plan, test data document. Designing phase, we have test scenario, test cases, and execution phase. Execution phase is the phase where actual test engineers do the testing. So they deliver test case result, defect reports. So test engineers usually share this defect report with developers, and developer again work on those defects and fix it, and again submit back to test engineer for further testing. Then we have test summary report. What are the things, what are the different test cases they executed, and what is the summary of those tests. Then we have closure phase of, in closure phase, we have sign off document, test exit report. So this is just a brief overview of different test artifacts. Okay. So let's see what are the different types of testing available. So we broadly divide testing into two parts: functional testing and non-functional testing. Functional testing actually take care of functional aspect of application. If like application is developed according to requirement or not, it's meet acceptance criteria or not. So tester actually test those functional aspect. They match it with the RFP requirement, they match it with the requirement document, and after meeting all the criteria, they provide sign up. Okay, this is functionally fit for this application is functionally fit for the use. Non-functional testing actually take care of non-functional aspect, like for example security, performance, whether application is according to a security requirement or not, whether it meets all the non-functional requirement. Like there are many different testings available to meet non-functional testing requirement. For example, load testing, usability testing, scalability testing. These are the example of non-functional testing. Okay. So here I'm just sharing like little bit brief about different type of testings available, because there are so many. This is not an exhaustive list. There are so many different types of testing available in the industry. But just to give little idea to students, I'm sharing this slide. So there are many different kind of testing which need to perform, and again we can divide all these tests into two part: functional and non-functional testing. Okay. So now let's see what are the emerging trends in software testing and in the IT software testing industry. So first is companies are focusing nowadays. Company focusing more on test automation. First, we need to understand what is test automation. So when test engineer write test script on any programming language, whether it's a Java or it's a Python or any programming language, and that test script actually test the entire application. So in short, we like test engineer develop a small software to test softwares. So there is no any manual intervention, human intervention is required. Your test script actually tests your entire application. So there is a lot of advantage of test automation. First, it saves your a lot of time and money, because automation testing takes very less amount of time to entire test all the complex scenarios. It's like coverage is very wide for test automation. It helps developers and testers to execute their different test cases very efficiently, and it's also increased the accuracy and reliability of the testing, because many a time when you do manual testing, manual intervention, human intervention can lead to errors, but automation will decrease such errors, human errors. Okay. Then let's understand what is the main core difference between manual testing and automation testing. So first advantage is execution time. Automation testing have actually very less execution time compared to manual testing. So suppose if you have to test some module, and if manual testing required 5 hours, maybe automation testing you can do in just 10 minutes, because it's a predefined test script which runs and test every test cases. So you also need very less people to automate test, because no human intervention is required. Only one or two test engineer required to write test script. So you don't require a lot of test engineer to test a lot of scenarios. But there are some disadvantages of automation testing, like tools. You need to buy testing tools, and these testing tools are a little bit expensive, and company need to invest some money to buy those testing tools. Second type of constraint is training, because this required skill, trained skill to do automation testing, because testers need to write a script. So we also need to provide training to train manpower. So this is drawback. Otherwise, we have a lot of advantage over lot of advantage of automation testing over the manual testings. purpose. Second emerging trend is use of artificial intelligence in quality assurance. So as we know, there are a lot of advantages of artificial intelligence and machine learning capability, and software industry also take the advantage of capability of AI and ML. Many AI ML based testing tools are available in the market, which help us for software quality assurance, software testing. So there are few advantages which I want to underline here. So AI ML based tool actually help us to prioritize our test case automatically. No human intervention is required. Many a time we have redundant test cases. So AI identify those redundant test cases and duplicate and eliminate the duplicate test cases. It's also automate the maintenance of test automation. So these are the advantages of AI based software testing tools. Okay. Security is very buzzword nowadays. As we all know, there are so many IT security related threats available nowadays on internet. So data breach like phishing, spear phishing, SQL injection, malware, attack of virus, trojans, worms, ransomware. So these are the few examples of IT security threat. And if your application is not secure enough, then it is very difficult for user to rely on your application. So IT security is very important to cater the need of the user and sell your IT product. Okay, so there are multiple trends related to security testing. So first we need to understand the principle of security testing. There are 6 principles of security testing. So only authenticated person can use your application, and only the authorized area of application can be used by that person. So this is and integrity and integrity of application, confidentiality, all these aspects we also need to take care while security testing of the application. Many automated tools also available nowadays for security testing. So there are various aspects of security testing, like network security testing, server side application testing, client side application testing, database security testing, data related security testing. So there are many emerging trend of information security trend which we need to take care while do security testing. These are the few example of different kind of security testing which usually test engineer perform on the application to meet the security criteria. For example, penetration testing, security auditing, vulnerability testing. These are the few example of different security testing. You can search on internet to know more about all the different types of security testing. Okay. Performance testing is also very important nowadays. If your application is very good and it scatter all the users requirement, but if it is not perform well, if a lot of time it's take to load on your machine, or a lot of time it's take to perform a certain operation, then there is no point of use of this application. Maybe your user will move to towards your competitors. So performance is very important nowadays, the performance of application. So in performance testing, we usually take care of 3 aspects, like speed of the application, stability, and scalability of application. There are many multiple types of performance test available. Like a few examples are load testing, stress testing, spike testing, endurance testing. So these are the example of performance testing. Okay, so usability testing is more related to your user experience of your customer, of your user. If your application meets all the requirement, all the security requirement, performance requirement, all the functional requirement, but use of that application is not very user friendly. If user feels some difficulty to use that application, then there is no point of all the different meeting of different criteria. So user experience is very important nowadays. Your user should feel very comfortable with your application, flow of the application, interaction with different user interface. Like nowadays we use a laptop, desktop, mobile application to access mobile device to access different kind of application, and your experience is different on with the interaction of different kind of devices. So usability testing take care of all these aspects. First, you need to uncover the problem, what user actually feel the what are the different challenges user feel, and what are the different opportunity available to meet those challenges, and how we can modify application according to customer needs. So all these things we take care in usability testing. Okay. So there are various different kind of software development lifecycle model available, and how testing related to all these role play in different STLC models, we will see in coming slides. Okay. So first, all you know, like nowadays, Agile is very popular software development methodology, and in Agile we have development and testing work hand to hand, like go together. And in Agile, we usually need to deliver our working software in just a small time frame. We call it a sprint. So sprint, maybe it's just a 15 days of duration, or maybe 1 month of duration. It's all depends on your organization requirement. So at the end of every 15 days, we need to deliver working software which user can use it. So here test and development like go together. But before that, we need to understand what are the drawbacks of the waterfall model. So waterfall model, we use it at old time, like at previous time, where we do where we perform all the work sequentially. So first we complete our requirement analysis. Then after completion of requirement analysis, we move to software development phase. After completion of software development, we start software testing. So when we finish our entire cycle, then it took around maybe 4 or 5 months to reach end result to the customer, to in the hand of customer. And when they start using application, they feel it is very much deviated from the requirement. And to overcome all these bottleneck of problem of waterfall model, actually Agile came into the picture. And nowadays lot of projects, software projects actually work on Agile based standard. So here role of testing is very important while you are working with Agile software development. Test-driven development, it's a part of Agile software development. Agile software development is an umbrella where a lot of different standard and methodology work together. So in TDD, actually test engineer first write different test cases. There is no any development till that time. Then developer write their code and meet those test requirement test cases, and entire software development actually surrounded throughout the testers and test requirements. So this we call test driven development. So DevOps is again one more very important practice which we follow in software industry. It is just an extension of Agile software development. It's a combination of practice where software development and IT operations work together. So here testing, continuous testing is the buzzword in DevOps. Here again, software developers and testers working together to deliver the value to the customer. Okay, so as there are a lot of career opportunity in software testing field, and after completion of your MBA, you might be look lot of opportunity in the software testing field. So here it's a I'm just giving you a little like overview how entire like what are the different opportunity available in the software testing field. So here it's a team hierarchy. You can start as a manual test engineer or automation test engineer or as a career, and after a couple of years of experience you can move as a QA lead or quality analyst or test architect. And maybe you can after again couple of years of experience you can work as a test manager. Okay, so this is a career ladder. Okay, so what are the different skills you required for become an impactful software tester? So it's required combination of hard skill and soft skill. So soft skill, as we all know, communication skill, problem solving skill, ability to work with team. These are the example of soft skill which you need to develop. Hard skill, you can work on understanding of different kind of test process, how manual testing work, how automated testing work, what are the different testing tools, and maybe you can learn some testing tool also. Then you will be ready for this industry. Okay, so this is typical QA job, quality analyst. I have taken this straight from naukri.com. So this is the actual requirement of any quality engineer, quality test engineer or software engineer, whether it's a automated tester or it's a manual tester. Okay, so any question, guys? I'm ready for any question. I have done with my presentation, and you guys can ask any question if you have.
Okay, students, any questions from your side? Please raise your hands.
I think I'm on time.
Yes, Abhishek sir. So Abhishek sir, from my side again on behalf of my students, because when we call industry experts, we definitely want that they get a career guidance. So you have already concluded your presentation with that, but if you can throw some light, because I know your personal journey, you have a technical background, then you did your management, and then you are into this particular field of testing along with a management degree. So as management students, what are the opportunities open to management students, especially if they don't have a technical background in the software industry, not per se only for testing?
Yeah, so I understood your point. So see, nowadays it's like you don't require coding knowledge, you don't require any technical knowledge to perform as a tester. Maybe you can develop your understanding around any application. So maybe I'm just giving you some example. Maybe maybe you can develop your expertise for CRM application, customer related requirement management, or maybe supply chain related application. Okay, and just develop your functional knowledge, functional aspect. You don't require any technical knowledge. You just need to check whether if you are deployed on any CRM related application or any other application. If you have functional knowledge, you can check the functionality of the application, and you can suggest to developer whether if it is meeting with your quality requirement or not. So there are a lot of career opportunity available even if you don't have any technical knowledge in the field of software testing.
Right. Thank you so much, Abhishek sir. I am sure the students would have benefited by your talk. So
I have shared, yeah, sure. So I have shared my email ID also, in case if anybody need further clarification or if they have any question, they can connect over the email, and I will happy to help them.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So now I would like to